Okay, so here you are looking at what I'm looking at. We're struggling to build our big project, which you can see there. We started it in ignorance. Ignorance is bliss, as they say, and we wanted to build an inland resort where people could come, something that would benefit the community. We made up our minds a long time ago that we wouldn't do anything that didn't benefit more than just us, and that's the result. So here's where we live. That's the motorcycle that Beth often falls off and hurts herself, and that's my bike there. I don't put pillows under the wheels, but it's just covered in an old blanket, because I choose to put it up here out of the way because I can leave a light on. But the birds love to come and settle on that, and if I park the bike under there or anywhere, they'll be happy to poop on it. So there's Turco, our lovely dog. This is where we sit outside. Whenever you go to a Philippine house, they don't invite you into the house. You sit outside in a seating area, so you have a porch similar to this, like this. The thing is that we sit out here, not so much myself, but Beth sits out here with our students and anyone who visits. Of course, they never put anything back. This is one of the things that you might find difficult as a foreigner to cope with. So I don't normally leave the lights on during the day, but so that you can see better, I left the lights on. It's a big house, very sparsely furnished at the moment. You've got to imagine here that there's a beautiful seated area for dining, for all those guests that we never invite in. It's a Filipino thing. We have a drum kit there. It's not because we hold dances in here, it's because that's where it was put and that's where it will stay. These are things that are difficult to understand if you're a foreigner. We have this lovely television. I never watch television at all. I did buy a video. I bought a video player. As you can see, there's some wires waiting to be connected. I bought that video player about a year ago. It's never been plugged in. This was our security camera setup. It suffered in the storm, Odette, the super typhoon. We haven't had it plugged in since. That's our kitchen. Things, as in any new house, new project, things remain unfinished. This still has to have the granite top. This is a thing that you would find strange in the Philippines. They're not big salespeople. See, so we got this. We got two pieces of granite. As you can see, there's a join. Got two pieces of granite, which obviously wasn't enough. That's all they had. So we said, well, can you get another one that matches? They got another one. It didn't match. So we left it with them. As soon as you get it, call us and we will come and buy it. Months went by. I went out there and there is a piece of granite. The first piece of granite was not a match. This is typical of what can happen. So when you get the right piece, let us know. Well, the right piece came in, but they didn't tell us because it had a corner broken off it. Like a corner, about like that. So it was damaged. So they never called us. If they'd called us, we'd have gone along there and said, well, it doesn't have to be complete because it's only a short piece. No, never called us, and then we never got it fitted because the work crew finished before they could get that done. So this is, I guess Americans would call this my man room. This is where I can do the things that I want to do. We can store things safely. What we found is that if things are left out, like microphones and stuff like that, or even a hairbrush, what would happen in the Philippines is that if the hairbrush is always, supposing the hairbrush is always kept here, we've just had this with the hairbrush, which took me ages to find that one because things are not always available in the Philippines. So we bring it and it's usually kept there, and then somebody uses it and they take it out there, and then once it's out there it's just like anybody's, and it becomes anybody's or somebody's, not us. So that's the kind of thing that happens. Our bedroom is there, we have a bathroom there. Very basic bathrooms, still shower. I don't shower. I pour cold water over myself from a big bucket. There's a television there, it's never been plugged in and probably never will be. A guitar, I would give anything to play the guitar. Anything, absolutely anything, but one thing: time. So it never happens. So this is where I can come and do my keep fit. I come out here in the morning, and as you can see, a coffee cup, and I look out on this beautiful view, and for 15 minutes I time myself, usually 15 or 20, maybe half an hour, and I watch. I come out here at 5 and I watch the sun come up over that coconut tree, and I find peace. And I also have visitors that come. There's a flock of little tiny red birds that come every day. They come and they fly over there, and then they come out and, as a flock, and they fly over here, and then today for the first time they came and they settled here for feeding tiny little things. I don't think that they are actually hummingbirds, but they fly like the hummingbirds, so they just float there, not like the little sparrow that has to work even harder just to stay up. But anyway, this is my little basic gymnasium, and it's enough to keep this old fart going. So we have lots to do, and we'll do it when we get the money, and we work at getting the money. And this was our grand view. We did have a concert here. We built this stage. We had a concert to raise some money for the kids. Cost us more money to put the show on than it did than it brought in. So in foreigner terms, I know in America we would be called house poor. So we live in a house, and when people pass they think, oh, very rich people, but I'd swap what I have in my pocket for what they have in theirs probably. So every day, this is one of the observations that people make all the time. They look at the motorcycle and say, no, you must wear jeans and a jacket and socks and proper shoes and a crash helmet, of course. And every day, and this is very good advice, my advice for Beth, which she ignores. And every day, over here, coming along, passing every day, motorcycles pass with 3, 4, 5 people sitting on them. Only the driver wears a crash helmet because it's the law. Not that anybody takes any notice of that, because we're out in the province and we never see a policeman. So we see them pass, and the father or the mother or the oldest boy will ride the bike, and he'll take all the kids to school, which is just down the road. And now we've had a very big addition to the road. you can see that we actually have a light. We have a street light, which is quite a thing. Over there, as soon as we started building here, put the wall up, they built that little sari store, which is fine. If ever we're short of, I don't know, a pack of coffee or something, we can go there. So that's our life, and there's so much that you have to adjust to. But the first thing is, the basic realization that you must have is that if you've come to live in this foreign country, you are the foreigner. And it's funny that so many people don't actually make that basic realization. That they're not going, I always say this, that they're not going to set foot. So it seems sometimes that people think that as soon as their foot touches the ground, when they step off the plane, the Philippines is going to change just for you. And it's not. So you have to be aware of that, and you have to get on with the life. Someone wrote today and said, it must be British, said, there's a lot of bare ground out there in the Philippines. Can't they plant, what's wrong with planting a nice lawn? which is so British. You can see this was just bare ground here in front, and now it's covered in grass. Over there on the top, on the hill where my finger is there, all of that, which now is dense undergrowth, that was all cleared at one point, and now it's completely covered in vegetation, which it would be difficult to walk through that, I can tell you. Over there is actually a wall. It's been completely covered. It's very important when you buy a piece of property in the Philippines. It's important that, first of all, a foreigner can't buy a piece of property in the Philippines. All that they can do is put it in the name of their wife, and then if they really don't feel very secure, which would seem crazy to me, they can have a lease, so that if the relationship doesn't work out, they can't be thrown out. Can't imagine a more difficult situation than that. But anyway, people are like that. But this wall, look, it's almost completely covered now. It goes right along there. There's another bit there. And there, you can see, that's what the wall looks like. The Great Wall of Burgos. And it goes all around the property to stop encroachment. That if people live just on the other side, as you can see over there, look, there's a whole group of houses. Actually, they're the relatives of another expat. But what would probably happen if we hadn't built the wall up in there, they would encroach onto our property, and then they would have, eventually they'd have squatters' rights, but the wall goes all the way around there, right down to where that little couple of houses are, and they're just on the other side of the wall. So we have other stuff going on. There's a wall there that is a supporting wall so that this can be all leveled. So that's where we are. I sympathize with the man that couldn't make it out here. I often say that sometimes you have people that come here on a mission, something fatalistic about how they've been guided to be in this place, maybe to help. This is how it was for me. Come here and I've been fulfilled by what I've done and what I'm doing. And I wasn't feeling that when I was in America or in the UK, so I found that here. And then there are other people who come and they're into they're into the girls and bars, and I call them sex tourists. But they come and they know what they want, and that's what they get, and that's it, each to his own. And then you have what I think of as the walking wounded, and the walking wounded come and they think that they're going to find the cure for all their ills, and of course it's not here, because wherever they go they carry it with them, and their sight is so occluded that they won't be able to see that every day, even though it would be here for everyone to see if they wanted it. You have to have your eyes open to see any kind of beauty, and if your sight is so blocked off, then you won't see anything no matter where you go. So I hope that man is happy in his rented apartment back in the States, such as it is over there now. Almost every expat that I speak to here pretty well feels that they're very, very lucky to be here. Listen to what I'm listening to now. Look at what I see. No chemtrails, no helicopters, police helicopters shining. I was in the LA area. Helicopters overhead with powerful searchlights tracing some criminal that was running away from something. But this is what I see, this is what I hear every morning. It's roughly about maybe 6:30, something like that. I deliberately don't bring my cell phone out when I come out in the morning, so that I don't get all tied up in the bad news that's coming in. Okay, well, that's it. A little look at our life at the moment. Thanks for being with me.